What's up, everybody? Welcome again to August Love Story, the podcast. I'm your host, Tommy T. This is my beautiful wife, Artieka.
T.
This episode today, we're talking about should you marry for personality, looks, money, or should you marry for all of those things?
Money
above?
and the
cars and the clothes. Anyway,
I suppose
that's what we're talking about today. So, what's your thoughts on that, man? Should you get married because of looks, personality, money, or all of the above?
Yeah, all of it.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Okay,
at all.
so let's start. Let's break it down.
All right, go for it.
So, looks. I should, as your spouse, be attracted to you.
Right.
I remember my great uncle.
Yeah.
I don't remember the conversation because he died when I was a little girl, but he told my mom that he only wanted to date fat women. His words, not mine. He only wanted to date fat women because he knew that they would let him do what he wanted to do. Thought that was terrible logic, but that's what he said.
Yeah.
Not to say that he wasn't attracted to him, but it was a mindset for him that they would let him do what he wanted to do. Now, when you get into looks, I say that you have to be at least mildly attracted to a person, because if they're like completely unattracted, you're gonna cringe every time you see them.
Yeah.
No matter how much money they have, no matter how great their personality is, no matter any of the other factors, you're always going to cringe when you see them because you don't find them attractive at all.
Yeah.
Now, when you get into the money part of it, money comes and goes. Like, I've watched tens of thousands of dollars go like through our fingers.
Yeah.
Like easy. Like it's like mind-boggling how fast. At one point in time, $16,000, we had it one day and then we didn't the next. Yeah. And we weren't making any bad decisions with the money. Yeah. Like, I wish we had made some bad decisions so I could be like, at least I did something dumb with it. But no, like, we watch money come, we watch money go. Like, we've been in a position where one of us was working. I don't think we've never been in a position where neither one of us was working.
Right.
But it's always been like up and down with money. But consistently, we've been able to cover our basic necessities. And some wants. But if you're getting with someone because they're like, let's just say a millionaire, because there's that show on TV that we're avoiding, Marrying Millions. That person could lose their entire fortune. And if your relationship was based on them having money, then what relationship do you have when they don't have money? But I say that you should also marry for money, because if you think that you're going to live a certain lifestyle, you should want that person to be able to, like, if your lifestyle is here, they should at least be able to match it.
Well, the thing I said about the money situation is, like you said, it comes and goes. But for me, I look at money as being the cherry on top. Just because when you get married, the vow is for richer and for poor.
So I wanted to say for richer, but I followed the rules.
Yeah. But, for like, that's what the vow says. And so you in it for the long haul. And I feel like you can date someone for the money, but marrying someone for the money, I don't think you should do, just because it comes and goes. Just because it's like you have to find that happiness, that thing that makes you happy. Money is just that vehicle to help get you there. It's not that.
I can see that, but I also think of the flip side of it is that you shouldn't bring me down.
No, I'm with you on that. Like, money, like, you still have to think about money, just because you have to take care of things. Like, it would be irresponsible for someone to marry a person who obviously not trying to figure out how to
make some money,
or essentially take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you find somebody that's, not working and, living with their parents or living with a friend or something like that. Like, no, I don't think that'll be a good choice to get married to.
So don't marry a couch surfer.
No, I don't think that's a good choice because that person, like, obviously that person is not prepared mentally to be married.
And that would be the person that's not meeting you equally.
Right.
Unless you doing the same thing.
Right.
Then I don't know how y'all can couch surf together.
Right. I don't get it then at that point because, at that point, it proves that you're not mentally ready.
Yeah, true.
So...
so basically, we're saying the same thing.
Just in a different way.
All right. What was the other one? You had you had looks.
You
had money.
And then personality. I think personality is the most important, just because, like, that's your character. That's your as you say, your representation.
Mm-hmm.
And your character changes as you get older, but it's molded from that point in time. So I think the personality is the most important through all of these three reasons and any other reason, you genuinely, I think that's where love comes from. You fall in love with a person's personality and not...
You fall in love with the way that they make you feel.
Right.
And their personality has something to do with the way that they make you feel.
Right.
Because literally they have, like, there's something that is drawing you to them. So, like, for example, you're a person that likes to make people laugh. Yeah. That's something that I both love and don't like about you. Because it's like sometimes everything is not a joke.
Yeah.
But sometimes I need you to be the laughter.
Yeah.
Because, like, the other day I was just having a terrible day.
Yeah.
I got some bad news and you was like, well, I mean, you didn't die. And I was like, but I feel like it. So I'm going to go be by myself. But when you go into that situation, like, it's great to have someone that wants to try to cheer you up, that wants to try to make things better. And that is part of the personality trait that, you want them to be those things for you.
Mm-hmm.
If they're a stick in the mud all the time across the board, then why would you want to be with a stick in the mud, which is usually for money?
Yeah.
Or because he fine. Or because she fine.
And that's the thing I have. That's the problem or the issue I have with looks, man. Looks gonna fade. Like what you look like today.
What is the Bible verse? Charm is deceitful and beauty is fleeting.
Yeah, it's gonna fade. And depending on how well you keep take care of yourself, because I think Angela Bassett is fine at 60 plus.
Mm-hmm.
But she has taken care of herself.
She has. She didn't let children tear up her body.
But I feel like, you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your body, your health.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole different story. But what you look like today, you're not going to look like in 20 years. You look similar. Like
hopefully.
When you look back on the pictures, you'll be like, yeah, you can tell that was you.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're going to have, something's going to be different.
That's just like, someone said to me once upon a time when they met my mom, they were like, at least I know what you'll look like when you're older because I can see what your mom looks like. And I was like, I don't even really look like my mom. I look like my grandmother.
Yeah.
But if you saw my grandmother in her prime and in her senior years, my grandmother still was a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
And in taking care of yourself, you get to see that.
Yeah.
Like the transformation of a person. So you want to know what somebody's going to look like in their olden or golden years, look at their parents, because that's most of the time we inherit our parents' lifestyle.
Yeah.
So when we inherit our parents' lifestyle, you get to see in the future, essentially, by looking at that person, what they're going to look like in their golden years.
Right,
if their parents are golden when you meet them.
Yeah, so it's just like I always think about why people got married, why we got married. Like mentally, I was ready. prepare for it.
I always am a buzzkill because people are like, why'd you marry Tommy? I was like, he asked. But it's not the reason that I married Tommy, but it is the reason that I married you. I couldn't marry you if you didn't ask.
Yeah, girl, be quiet.
I couldn't. It wouldn't have been possible.
But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
Thank you. I like it when you say that.
Yeah, I know it. But no, like people get married for different reasons, and you know, it's like from my look at it, I married you because I enjoyed being with you. I enjoyed the laughter and the joy that we had, and I loved it. I wanted that feeling forever.
It's not because I wouldn't leave.
Nah.
Just making
sure. It's you know, a lot of things about you came into play when I thought about where am I going next, you know, and so all those things didn't have anything to do with how you look. Like initially, yeah, I'm attracted to you. I'm still attracted to you, you know.
So nice.
That is, ain't it? You know. And then it was like I always felt like we can build together, you know, as far as like gaining money or anything like that. But the happiness that you brought me and the happiness that I saw or thought that I was bringing you, that's what I wanted forever, you know. So that's where that marriage came from. That's why I asked. But just seeing like other people, you know, even thinking about, oh, I'm gonna marry this person for looks, because we can always look at a different situation and be like, why did she marry him, or why did he marry her?
It's usually people thinking that a man married a woman for looks and a woman married a man for money.
Yeah.
Which is sad because women make their own money and men can look good.
Now.
I mean, your whole lifetime they have been.
They have.
And it's mostly present day people that are saying that.
But the saying comes from, like, all these sayings come from before we were born. Like everything, like shacking up.
I roll my eyes at shacking
come from before we were born. That rule comes from before we were born. Women marrying for.
Speaking of shacking up, I gotta say it again. Shacking up is not the sin. The sin is the premarital sex. Jeez.
Right. Nobody even.
Like shacking up. Oh, it irritates me when people bring that up. Because it's like, if you're having sex with them before you're married, that's the sin. I could live with any man and not have sex with him, and that's not the sin. You call that shacking up too?
Yeah.
I digress. Know. I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest.
You good?
I'm good.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so you see all these different things, and then you have all those sayings, those different sayings and stuff like that. You know, that's where it comes from. It comes from a time before us, and it just was passed down from generation to generation. Now we're looking at it like we see the flaw in it. You know what I'm saying? And so once you pay attention to what's going on, you're like, okay, let me not fall for that. That's what they mean when they say that. It's a new day and age. You know, I don't have to hear that no more.
Allegedly.
You shouldn't.
I don't.
Man, so.
I'm married now.
Yeah, that's true. So, do we have any listener letters for today?
We actually do. So before I get started, if you have a listener letter, please either DM it to us on Instagram at August Love Story, or email it to us at ouraugustlovestory@gmail.com. Or you can just send it if you have access to us on Facebook, or to us personally, like phone number. You can text it to us. So today's listener letter says, I am a single mom and I am dating a man that has 2 children, but I have never met his kids. What is the time frame that I should be requesting to meet his kids? He's already met mine.
I think that time I don't think you should put a limit, but definitely for you guys to go to another level in the relationship, the kids would have had to meet the other. Is it the man that hadn't met the children?
He has met her kids,
but she
has not met his kids.
Yeah, for both of the people in the relationship to feel comfortable with going to the next level, because at one point you have to figure out what are you dating for. Like, what's the end goal? Is the end goal just to hit it for a little while and then I'm done, or is the end goal to really see, could this be my wife, and could we build a family together, a new family together?
So I've seen two sides of this argument. I have actually talked to a woman who says that she introduces her kids to guys early on. They're not introduced as my boyfriend or uncle so-and-so and such and such. It's just like, this is Mr. Sam. Mr. Sam, this is my kids. And she does that because she wants to see what type of vibe her kids give her about him. Yeah. So it's not like they'll maybe go out to lunch. Like, we're going to CC's Pizza. He's going to meet us there. And she sees how the kids interact with him with conversation, because her kids, they're not older, but they're middle elementary grade. So they can have proper conversation with people. Yeah. And she said that doing so, on the way home, every time she's introduced them to a man, they've had conversations and let her know if they have liked the guy or if they didn't. And she was like, if my kids give bad vibes off from you, that's the ending. But then you also have the other side of the coin where people are like, I'm not going to introduce my kids to someone until it's serious. I think that if they took the other approach, if it got serious, what if the kids and the guy did mesh well with each other? Because you have to have harmony in your house. Yeah. And your kids are going to be there. Nothing, I don't like it I don't like when people are like, my mother's husband, when their mom gets remarried after them, because it gives off the situation that they don't like the man. Yeah. So when you have the relationship and the guy has never met the kids, and then you do introduce him to the kids, and let's just say that they don't work well with each other. I don't like it when women are remarried to men and their kids refer to the man as their mother's husband because they just don't like him. Yeah. Or that dude my mama with. Because at some point, most of the time, and sometimes there is, a reason, a fair reason. But most of the time, it's just because of the way that the man was presented to the kids, or they genuinely do not like this man for a very valid reason. So when you have that, you just have to look at both sides of it. So my suggestion is looking at how old your kids are, number one. Because let's just say they're 17 years old. His kids, let's just say his kids are 17 years old. You don't necessarily need to meet them, because they're not going to be a factor in your household if the relationship progresses. Yes, they'll be present, but they won't live in the house. And then you also have if they're smaller, how are you going to make sure that they all get along? So I don't have a solid answer for you, but I would look at it both ways. Do you want to make sure that your kids are happy and that you're well taken care of with this man as far as the relationship needs are concerned? That makes sense?
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally with you on that. I don't feel like the woman or man, I don't feel like the children should make the decision for the adult in the situation. I definitely feel like, hey, if you feeling this person and this is the person you want to be with, and you feel like this is the right person for you, I think you should go ahead and do it regardless of how the kids feel, because you have to take care of the kids. The kids don't take care of you.
That's correct.
Now, I do understand. Now, I do feel like the kids should have, like, at some point it should be, okay, I understand, like, you know, it should be a conversation with the children. Like, you should at some point sit down with the kids and be like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Mr. Bob.
Right. It's the thing about,
I don't know why I picked these old names.
Why like people used to call
like
people uncle?
Mr. Devontae.
This is Uncle whoever.
I don't know. It made women feel better.
That's the nastiest thing in the world.
It is, because why would you be having relations
with
uncle?
Right. Well, anyway, I just honestly believe that you should, as the adult in the situation, should you take your kids into consideration just because those are your kids. You know, you have to take care of your kids, so you don't want to put your kids around a person that's not good for your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you also want to be happy. So if being with a man that makes you happy and you bring them around your kids, or being with a woman that makes you happy and you bring her around your kids, I think that man or woman needs to be mature enough to come into the situation knowing that, hey, you have children and I need to treat those children as if they're mine.
That's true.
And so to answer the question on a time limit, because we went
around
everywhere.
The world and I
feel like with children involved in the relationship, I feel like in order for your relationship to go to the next level, if you feel like that's where you guys are headed, then you have to at that point you introduce your kids. But I don't feel like it's a time limit on it per se. I think it's a feeling that you like, yeah, it's time from there. So I can't say, yeah, it'd be 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 years, 4 years. You know, I can't say that. But if you want the relationship to go to the next level. So
it's about comfort level.
Right. That's it.
Got it.
Hopefully that answers that question.
I hope so, because we went around the world.
Well, yeah, we did. So what's the quote for the episode?
So I picked this particular person because we just watched the first 2 episodes of their docuseries. And I was a No Limit fanatic back in the day.
All of us were.
Everybody wouldn't, but I was.
Yeah, I love No Limit.
So, my enemies hate me. Money can't make me. Bees can't break me. The feds can't take me. Give me 4 or 5 months and I'm out. It must be love. Mama put up the house.
Gotta be love, right? Gotta be.
I'm refraining from actually rapping this like I would in my car with my sunglasses on, riding down 285.
I know you would. I know you.
Master P, guys, the artist for today.
Well, I think that's gonna do it for us today.
It is.
Thank you guys for listening to August Love Story, the podcast.
Please like us on social media, subscribe to our podcast, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and also subscribe to the YouTube page. Tomorrow, we're going to drop Married at First Sight episode 4 review. So we kind of moved the podcast back a day. It was dropping on Thursdays. We've moved it to Wednesdays because that just made our filming schedule like excessive. Yeah. Well, Tommy's filming schedule excessive and Lily's life excessive.
Right.
So, Speaker Geekers is his other podcast that comes out on Tuesdays. August Love Story is now going to be coming out on Wednesdays. And then Married at First Sight review is going to come out on Thursdays on the August Love Story channel. So please, of course, like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you think about these crazy couples. And
yeah,
that's all I got.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, guys, this episode was produced by 3M Media. Go check their website out, 3mmediastudios.com. You can find all the information about the podcast, the videos that they're working on at 3M Media. So look forward to it. And you have nothing, I have nothing. You guys, we out. Peace.
Bye, y'all.